Hi, it's Peter with Team Chabris. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for taking a minute to watch this video. So the March data is in. I know it's May 1st. It takes us a while. Us realtors, we're not statisticians, we're marketing people, but we've got the data from March. It's in. Here's the deal. March sales were off 8% off of last year. That is to say we had 8% less transactions happen this year than we did a year ago. And you go, Peter, that's terrible news. It's actually not. If you think about it for two reasons. The first is national GDP growth during the first quarter of the year was only 0.1%. That's flat. If you mix that and the fact that our weather here was brutal and nobody wants to buy and sell real estate when it's cold out, being off only 8% from last year is just fine with me, especially given how crazy last year was, right? So being off 8% is fine. What I do like is that while we're off 8% in terms of sales, the average sales price March of this year versus March of last year was up 10%. That's fantastic. That feels good. So you saying there's a seller's market? Yes, generally it is. In fact, we had clients in Oakley we met last night. They're pricing between $250 and $300. There was not one home in that market segment. There were 6 that had sold in the last 6 months. 7 were under contract, not one home for sale. They're driving the bus. It's a seller's market in Oakley between $250 and $300. By contrast, we have a client who's going to be listing their home in Indian Hill between $1.5 million and $2 million. That's a buyer's market. One home has sold in that market segment over the last 6 months, and there's 18 on the market. So, yes, we're generally in a seller's market. Yes, there's generally a lack of inventory, but every single market segment here is different. It's very much kind of a chaos right now in the real estate market here in Cincinnati. So call us. If you have questions, call us. Use us as a resource. That's why we're here, why we set up these videos. We're here to help. Hope you guys are doing great. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope to hear from you soon.